You know what we don't talk enough about? Sock comfort. Nobody talks about how delicious it feels to put on a pair of socks that fit your feet perfectly. A plush pair of socks, a pair of socks that grips you, that moves with you, a pair of socks that doesn't ride up or get crumpled in your shoe. I am such a fan of Bombas. I've been wearing Bombas for years. You can see me on stage wearing them. When I was pregnant, I wore Bombas compression socks when I was on tour. Now that I'm not pregnant and I'm just an old lady, comfortable socks are the most important thing to me. And I love Bombas. And Bombas makes socks, now Slides and Seamless Essentials, to keep up with whatever you're doing. You're running a marathon, you're running a few errands, whatever you're doing, Bombas has got you. They're just like a hug for your foot. And they didn't ask me to say that. That's how I feel. Head over to bombas.com and use code ELIZA for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com, code ELIZA at checkout. Bombas.com and use code ELIZA.
Lemonada.
Ask me, ask Eliza anything. It's time to ask. Ask me all your questions. Leave them in the Instagram comment section. Leave them on your Twitter or leave them on your Facebook. We'll see them, we'll read them, then we'll give you answers. You know it, I've got it. I've got the answer, the answer. You ask me, I'll tell you anything.
What happened?
Oh, what happened?
Well, okay. Do you want to talk about what day it is? It is July 9th.
Yeah, we were going to record and then I just texted Emily. I was like, sorry, I don't think I said urgent care,
You
did
said
I?
urgent care, but
I
like
did.
super casually. Like, hold on. You said, hey, I need to run to urgent care. All lowercase. You didn't even capitalize the I. I was like, oh, okay.
I got to run to urgent care. Well, because I was also texting with my manager and she was asking me something like pretty complex. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm at the doctor right now.
It was
Because when you, as a woman, when you're like, I'm at urgent care, it's like thoughts and prayers. It's like when you post a picture of like a hospital bracelet, like, don't ask. Thank you so much for all your concern.
But it was a text like, hold on, I just got to take a dump, then we can record. Like, hold on, I just got to run to urgent care. I just got to pick up a few things.
I did. And I went to the primary care building and I was like, there's a lot of people here for an urgent care in such a small community. Went to the urgent care. Nobody was there. Nice man checked me in who checked me in last year when I decided to drill a hole in our door frame without wearing goggles. And I had to get my eye numbed and it was the best hour, the best ocular hour of my life. $25 copay. My stomach has been hurting in such a significant way that when at the onset of it, I had to leave my Zoom because I was like, I'm positive I'm about to have like a deluge of diarrhea.
Yeah. In our last recording, you said it had been 3 days, but that it was on the mend. You thought it was getting better.
And well, now is when we have to tell people that we're actually recording this during the last recording.
Yeah, because I do also have something that relates to that. So yes, we're banking.
Yeah, we're recording this early, but that's fine. We can still talk about how your 4th of July was.
Yeah.
We had to bank it, folks. You know, we've never missed an episode. Emily's going out of town and sometimes we're going to have to bank a lot more coming up because of this movie, which hopefully I can tell you more about soon if the Deadline article doesn't beat me to it. But I was debating talking about this and I was like, do I post a picture of my poop that I took for Patreon?
No.
Well, basically.
But did you show the picture to a doctor?
Yeah. So basically we go to urgent care. And I'm like, I actually lack the terminology to properly describe how I'm feeling. Like I had to abort a Zoom call because I was like, I'm gonna like just void my bowels.
A Zoom call with people you knew or new people?
With someone I know, of someone I'm writing with. I was like, I don't feel well. Okay. And I was like, it can't be the glass of milk I just had. Like I know everyone loves to be like, I can't handle dairy, but like I drink dairy all the time.
Yeah, you're okay.
Whatever. All yesterday, it was like hurting a little bit less. And so today I was like, we're going to knock this thing out. So I did like a full advanced ab workout because sometimes moving your body, twisting your abs, like that definitely helps you go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I drank a shot of olive oil. I'd been taking Metamucil. Like I was like, let's get this out. I go to the bathroom and there was like something in my poop.
Just something hard,
like
something soft.
it was almost as if I had swallowed like the rubber end part of a balloon. Like it almost.
That sounds like a tapeworm.
So I immediately Googled that, but
Yeah.
it wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't anything like that. And I'm looking at this thing in the bowl and I'm like, what is going on? Like, why does it look like that?
I'm so scared.
Me too, because I'm like, oh, it's colorectal cancer. Because by the way, when you Google any cancer, like one of the signs is always like abdominal pain. Like that is the sign for anything wrong with you, a brain tumor, you have abdominal pain.
Yeah.
So I remembered that Noah keeps latex gloves in the kitchen for different cooking things. So I go in the kitchen, I get a glove, I put my hand in that bowl and I pick up this like gerbil of a turd. Cause I'm like, what is that in there? Cause I'm thinking like, did I eat a piece, like a rubber band and I don't know it? I'm just trying to, I remember what I've eaten the last few days and it's all like a bagel. Like it's all very normal stuff that my whole family's been eating.
For a brief second, I thought I was aghast.
This should be our Patreon, by the way.
No, we're getting to this on the main feed. I was aghast because I thought you were saying maybe Noah had actually left a latex glove in the food.
No.
Okay.
But I mean, that's what it was just like a weird thing.
Okay.
And
Well, you've picked
I
it
pick
up.
it up and you can't break it apart. Like whatever this is, I'm saying it's wormy, like only because we were talking about worms, but like if you pick up a worm, like it's a solid thing and it's
Right.
it's
not
not
disintegrating.
mucusy.
Okay.
It's not disintegrating.
It's a solid.
It's a like a mucusy solid, like latex, like if you had like fragments of a condom in that you could not break it apart.
Now, if this had come out of one of my cats, I would put it in a Ziploc to bring with me to the doctor.
I wish I had, because I could have given a stool sample. So I'm just like, okay, what the fuck is this? Of course, I Googled tapeworm. It doesn't look like a tapeworm.
Okay.
Stomach's like feeling a little bit better, but it's still kind of hurting. And there's like pressure. And every time I think I'm going to like rip a big fart, it's like the teeniest thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, this sucks. I'm
This
used to
sucks.
ripping big juicy ones and asking my daughter like, who did it?
Gaslighting your child with farts.
And so, and like we're leaving for Nantucket tomorrow. It's like I'm about to leave an island to go to an even more remote island.
Right. You can't be on a ferry with this.
Yeah. And so I was just like, I don't feel well and it's making me anxious. And if I'm being honest, every time I read the news, I get more and more anxious and like that's not helping.
No.
And then to top it all off, I have a friend who she has a totally different job, but she's sending me off the chain, not like in the fun way, like off of our communication chain threads about this thing, like a product endorsement thing and, you know, paying into something for stock options. And it's just like a lot of information about an industry. It's like investing in this medical company. And it's like a lot of information that I have people who I pay to process this for me. And I'm just like,
Right.
my stomach. When your stomach hurts, when anything about you hurts, like you cannot focus.
Yeah.
Go to the ER. I pay the $25 copay. I have to tell a nurse all of this. I show her the picture of the poop because I took a picture.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, I'll go get the doctor. She comes back, she's like, the doctor's not going to see you. You have to go to an ER. And the ERs are like an hour away and it's raining. And I was just like, well, I'd rather die. Like I'm not.
So we
doing
don't
that.
know what came out of your butt?
I show her, I go, hey, do you think it's this? And I start Googling. Somehow I see a picture of something and it's called ropeworm. So I start Googling ropeworm, which you cannot get a real article on. It's all like basically like TikTok pseudoscience. And I show it to her and you know you're in trouble when the nurse is like, well, what else does it say? I'm like, no. This cannot come down to me doing my own research. The doctor won't see me. And I was like, can I have my $25 back? There's no way the paper on this chair costs you $25. And I was just like, okay, I guess I'll just feel like a little shitty because I can't risk. It's like we have 2 little kids at home. I don't want to drive an hour away. Like all you ever want to know is that it's not cancer. That's all you ever want to know.
Do you think you have a ropeworm?
So a ropeworm isn't a thing.
Okay.
If you Google it, people are calling it that, but it's like your intestinal lining. So I'm doing my own research, I'm able to call my doctor
Okay.
who calls me.
Okay.
And she was basically like, it sounds like you have a bug and your intestines can shed lining, which they do anyway. She was like, and she described what it looked like. And I was like, that's what it looked like. And it was just like a very like cattywampus way of going about finding out that like I probably just had a bug, even though I've not eaten anything weird.
Right.
And even through abdominal pain, I was like, I'm going to eat a whole dinner size order of sesame chicken.
Sesame chicken.
and chow mein. I was so hungry. That's the one thing. It's usually like appetite loss. I'm like, not this girl. Not me.
So you're going to be looking at all your poops for the next few days?
No, I think it's just, I think part of the pain also comes from like the anxiety of not knowing and like just being in discomfort for that long. But it was like scary. You're like, I took a weird shit. What's going on? And the saving grace, like there's no blood. I wasn't going to share this because I'm not one of these people that's like, come with me to the gynecologist.
Saving grace was there's no blood is such a crazy sentence.
Because that's like the symptom for everything,
No, I
like blood in your stool.
I know.
And so it just hearing, first of all, I don't know why the doctor here couldn't say that to me. Like the fact that she wouldn't see me at all, I think is, and there was no one else in the waiting room. So as long as you're busy.
Yeah, I don't know why, like, why can't she talk to you? I don't understand.
But also like, who knows what the nurse said? It's also so vague that it's like, you might need to test. Like my stomach hurts. It's like, if I'm a doctor, I'm like, that could be 100 things.
Right. Maybe they thought they're like, this woman just wants to show us a picture of her shit. It's a prank.
You guys, sorry if I'm just like super turned on by this. And I just was like looking at this nurse and I was like saying to her, like, this is just really hard to make eye contact with a stranger and like describe a bowel movement. She's like, you don't have to look right at me. Like she was very funny about it. But anyways, it's just the thing. It's also the nervous, like the uncertainty of like, do I go? And then like the idea of waiting in an ER, like, do I go? Do I spend these last few hours before I get on a plane at 5 a.m.? And now I'm sure it'll all feel fine. Sometimes once you just go to the doctor.
I guess we'll see if we make it through this recording.
I feel fine now. I'm still going to eat Chinese food.
Can I ask you about a butthole issue?
Yeah.
Have you ever had where when your stomach hurts, but also your butthole really hurts?
What kind of hurt?
As part of your stomach?
Like pressure, like when you sit down?
Yeah, where you're like, I need to go to the bathroom, but then you go and nothing happens. You're like, what's wrong with my butthole?
It's not your butthole. It's been my last 48 hours.
Okay. Well,
this is literally what I just described.
Oh, okay. So then.
There's all kinds of things. And like my stomach hurt going to bed.
Well.
It is crazy the amount of pain we're willing to just put up with to like not have to deal with a healthcare provider. I'm like, look, as long as it's not cancer, like I'm sure I'll get over it. It's also that thing. Sure, there are freak things, but like if you're like, they were asking me, they're like, are you allergic to latex? Any medications? Do you take anything? And I was like, I don't take any medicine.
Yeah.
Like I'm a healthy person. I guess I take Flonase, but like that thing is like, if you're healthy, like it's probably fine.
There are very few things I would go to the doctor for. I'll go to the vet, but I'm not going to go to the doctor most of the time.
I'll go to the vet at the drop of a hat. No problem. That cat looks at me weird. She's thinking about gender dysphoria. She's not sure if she's a dog or a cat. We bring her.
I have a folder on my phone that's cat medical where I keep like the photos of poops and whatnot.
I believe that. I believe that. And you know what? I get it.
You should start that for you.
Cat medical. It's a new drama on CBS.
We'll have Eliza medical. I'll start notes for you. Eliza pooped a glove.
It's just cat medical, and it's just only everything's like a different caper about a different kind of cat shit, and you're the only star. But you're the star, but you're also like the brainy person that's always at a computer. Like you know how
it's like
shows
the show,
always have.
Yeah, but we're only ever at the computer.
I wonder who the first one was, because every sci-fi, every action, every law enforcement, there's always like a hot girl who's a dork with like suicide girl bangs that like is eating a sucker at a computer. Like, let me just get into the mainframe.
The ultimate one of that is the NCIS girl. Yeah, which I don't watch because I'm an SVU, but
I wonder if she's an original character or if they based it on something from a comic book or something.
Yeah.
Like that archetype of like hot nerd who's just like, I'll just hack in.
Yeah, because it's always kind of like that, Enid Coleslaw from Ghost World kind of person that's like, I know computers, but also I'm hot. You're like, okay.
Oh, I don't remember the computer part of it. That was a great movie.
She was not in a computer, but it's that look. That's like that vibe of like disaffected.
Yeah. Ghost World? Are you sure you mean Ghost World?
Yes.
Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah. Thelma, something.
Oh, this is from when you were in your little old lady phase. Anyways, I will be posting a picture of that turd on the page.
No, we're going to lose people.
We're going to but we will gain so many.
I can't be opening and see a turd. I can't have that.
Scatological. All right. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
I just really don't feel well.
Do we want to go to questions or do you want me to ask you about my show and tell that I have a question
By the way, I
about?
have to say, there's nothing worse than when you feel ill on your way to a quasi vacation because it's like, cool, now I can spend the day finding a doctor on
Elsewhere?
vacation in Nantucket
Yeah.
or like take a ferry over to Boston. Like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to be sick.
Can Michelle help with this?
And what is colitis? Michelle, she lives in Austin.
Oh, wait, that's next weekend. Okay.
She's not a doctor. She just has like a PhD in public policy. I don't even know what the fuck she has. Masters? I should find out.
You should find out. Yeah.
Whatever. She doesn't know anything about what I do.
Mm,
We have nothing in common.
I know. It's really worked out, though.
I actually invited her and her wife here to break up with her.
In front of
I
her
can't believe
wife?
In front of Grace, I'm going to be like, this is how little your wife means to me.
That's rude.
The foundation for a perfect outfit starts with your socks. Because if your socks aren't comfortable, you can't be comfortable in your shoes. And if you're not comfortable in what you're walking around in, chances are you're going to have a pretty miserable day. Bombas are my favorite sock. And I love that Bombas come in so many different styles for all the different things that I like to do. Bombas has compression socks for traveling. They have comfortable socks that are buttery soft, sweat wicking, and they barely feel like they're there. Plus, Bombas makes stylish options. They make socks that come with little ruffles. You can show them off. But what I love about Bombas is that for every pair sold, they donate a pair. And I love the way they feel like they're hugging my foot. It really just puts me in the best mood. Try on a pair of Bombas and see if your day doesn't feel better. And the best part about Bombas and you listening to my podcast is that you can order Bombas abroad. That's right. Along with the U.S., they now ship internationally to over 200 countries. So head to bombas.com and use code ELIZA for 20% off your purchase. That's BOMBAS.com, code ELIZA at checkout. Bombas.com and use code ELIZA.
Hey, Julia Louis-Dreyfus here. If you listen to me on my Wiser Than Me podcast, you probably already know that I'm an investor and an evangelist for the Mill Food Recycler. There are a lot of reasons to love Mill, but for me, it's all about the impact. Keeping food out of the garbage is one of the most powerful things we can do to help the planet every single day. We're talking banana peels, carrot tops, old takeout. When that stuff heads to the landfill, it becomes a huge driver of climate change. If you already compost, great. But of course, there's the smell, the flies, the running to the curb every day with a little leaking compost bag made of cornstarch. That's where Mill comes in. It makes keeping food out of the trash as easy as dropping it in. It can handle nearly anything, from a turkey carcass to like 20 avocado pits. It works automatically while you sleep. You can keep filling it for weeks, and it never, ever smells. Mill makes dry, nutrient-rich grounds that you can use in your garden, add to your compost, feed to your chickens, or Mill can get them back to a small farm for you. But you kind of have to live with Mill to really get it, and that's why they offer a risk-free trial. Go to mill.com/wiser for an exclusive offer.
All right. Well, let's do a question. I'll show you the thing I brought later.
Okay.
Hi, Pod Crew. Unique question / am I the worst? My husband and I are in our early 30s and moved with our 2 dogs to a well-known but small neighborhood 4 years ago. While most of our neighbors have been the best we could ask for, we've had several instances of people whose kids seem to have no fear of strangers and their dogs. Context. We have 2 dogs, both are guardian breeds, 85 pounds and 110 pounds. They've gone through intense training and are friendly and well-behaved. Multiple times, our dogs have been confronted by neighborhood dogs that don't walk politely, or their owners are too clueless to notice this issue and allow their children to be dragged down the street towards us by their dog. We've attempted to discuss multiple times with the parents, expressing while we and our dogs are friendly, we don't enjoy the potential fear of their dogs biting ours, especially due to breed stereotyping. Nothing has changed.
Oh, they have pit bulls.
I've got our people, I feel like. Guardian breeds, yeah.
That's where I was saying guardian dog. Yeah.
Am I the worst for considering calling animal control since they seem to have no control, or should I just continue to try to have adult level conversations?
First of all, you can't call animal control. Nothing's happening.
Yeah, they're
It's just
just
kids
not...
walking their dogs, and you're afraid that you might have a dog who's reactive, and your dog. I mean, the truth is, if your dog bites, it's a much bigger deal than if another dog bites.
Yeah,
I think I know that there is this very delicate conversation around pit bulls, And I actually have a bit about it right now, and it's great. And they're a super maligned breed and misunderstood, and people abuse them. And at the end of the day, it is a dog with an incredibly powerful bite. I don't even care if it's a sweet baby. And I think that is part of the responsibility that you assume when you get a dog like this. It's just part of, you're not responsible for other people's dogs, but you are responsible for the fact that if your dog does, as Chris Rock would say, the tiger didn't go tiger. The tiger didn't go crazy. The tiger went tiger. Like if your dog does snap or something, like you have to be so on that dog because you can't control the environment. So I do think it's fair to constantly be saying like, she is sweet, but if you're going to approach her, please do it this way. Like you have to constantly, as whatever you are in this world, be educating and re-educating people. I don't have a guardian type dog. I have a throw pillow with a very thick neck, but I have no problem when kids walk up. I say, let her smell your hand. Do not pet her there. Because I am in charge of her safety in that moment. And I'm in charge of their safety because they're interacting with my dog.
Yeah.
It sucks. People who get pit bulls, it's almost like they go into it hoping that there'll be this weird conversation and you can prove otherwise. God forbid something happens and you didn't say anything. It's a part of the responsibility. It's like saying I bought a Maserati and I went really fast and then something happened. It's like, well, you shouldn't have. Just because the car has the capability to go that fast doesn't mean you should. So just because the dog has the ability to be sweet and because it has the ability to do that, you have to proceed with caution.
I think this is tough because animal control is not going to do anything about people just like being kind of lax. Like these people aren't technically endangering anyone yet. So you're just going to make the situation worse. You just have to keep reminding them. It is annoying though. It is annoying.
And not everybody knows how to act around other people's dogs. I always have to remind my daughter, like, you cannot put your face, even in Tianfu's face, even though I do it. Like always, I mean, because I was bit on the face by a dog. Like we all have nervousness around our breed of dog, our own experiences. I think it's just constantly being the couple that is, and I think if you walk your dog responsibly, as it sounds like you're doing, people will eventually start to respect that. Like as a dog owner, when I see someone and their dog's on a tight leash and they're giving it commands, I steer clear because I'm like, you are actively like parenting that dog and I'm not going to run up. Not that my dog would ever let me get in the way. So yeah, you got to put those kids in their place and you always have to be like, these are very strong dogs. So we just always want to make sure that they're comfortable.
Yeah.
And you have your dog on a leash. So fucking Bob's your uncle. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I guess it's like you see a little dog running at you. That's, you know what? As if their dog gets eaten by your dog, that's their lesson.
I mean, it's the dog shouldn't be off a leash, but that is you have to then turn your dog around.
Yeah.
Dogs get off leashes. These are animals. Even perfectly behaved, trained dogs on leashes could still snap.
Yeah.
We have to account for these things. And so like, I don't know about you, but when I'm like at a farmer's market or in like a crowded space and I have Tianfu and I see a large dog, like a German Shepherd, I always put myself between them because I don't know how my dog's going to react, even though she's on a very short leash.
Yeah.
So I'm just taking responsibility and I move myself away and no one has ever given me a dirty look or anything, but I'm like, all I can control is myself and my animal in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
You are within your right to just kind of walk away and people will get it.
Yeah.
I think you're trying to prove something with this pit bull. And it's really on you guys. This isn't like maritime rules or airspace rules where like the larger vessel can stay and the smaller vessel has to move out of the way. I don't think that applies in the animal kingdom.
No, unfortunately. But I'm good
for
training your animal. Yes.
Speaking of aeronautics, when I was the other day going through YouTube shorts trying to like kill some time, first of all, I was served a lot of Ariana Grande videos and I like her fine, but I don't think I've ever mentioned her. I think I said I watched half of Wicked on a plane and fell asleep. Like I'm served I was that. And it was a lot of fighter pilot, like glorification military videos set to a sped up version of that. Is it Cranberries or Sinead O'Connor? The In Your Head song. Oh, that's Zombie. That's Shirley Manson. Who the fuck sings Zombie?
Zombie is Cranberries, right?
Yeah, sorry. It's the Cranberries. Have you heard this? It's like the TikTokification of the song. It's like, and it's just set to like different fighter pilots, like gearing up, saluting each other. It's like very like jingoist Americana, like glorification of our military. And it does give me goosebumps and it is cool. but it kept serving it. And I'm like, but this is a song about like Irish rebellion and British suppression. And you're playing it over like Blue Angels pilots.
Yeah.
And after like the fifth time, it kind of loses its impact.
Right.
It was that song and it was The Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah.
But it's like this weird EDM version, like the sound of silence in the faded light I saw. And it's just fighter pilots saluting each other and plane formations. And it's like the sound of silence because it's like an aircraft that's stealth. But it served it to me so much with so many different reels of military aircraft.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about. This whole thing sounded crazy, but it is funny to use this like beautiful song about like Irish spirit over American fighter planes.
I weirdly saw a post about someone who like it's a donut shop or a Baskin Robbins or something. But when there is an air show in town, the Blue Angels, they're like, these 2 dates at the end of June will be cash only because when the boom goes off, it knocks all our card systems offline for a couple of days.
Wow. That's cool.
So just like
Some of
every
that
year.
stuff is cool. Like some of those formations, like how stealth they are, even moving between each other, like inches of distance. And these are 50 billion ton, $8 billion aircrafts just moving like birds in the sky.
Yeah, they're doing good.
I will say I did get like the weird mix of like, but also pride as we step into this nearing war. It was about like bombing Iran. And it was a image of some fighter aircraft. And it just said like, they're about to find out why we don't have health care. And there's part of you like, yeah, show them why we're all sick. Here we go.
Run well. We're pooping latex gloves and just going home and deciding that's fine.
Shitting gloves and flying like doves. Can I tell you a shout out to my friend Lori Gibbs? And I'm sure I've said this before.
I love Lori so much.
Lori says smoking darts and breaking hearts. And it's so 80s and dirty. And I fucking love it.
I love her. Okay.
Smoke a dirt.
We have a question that you're going to love so much, Eliza. Simply because, okay, my question is, how do you deal with selfish bridesmaids? I have already had to kick one bridesmaid out of my wedding party because she chose her friendship with my homophobic mother, who decided not to come to my wedding, over our friendship.
Oh my God, wait, let me make myself some hot cocoa and like settle in.
I know.
Settle in let me turn off my alerts. Let me turn off my phone.
I know.
That wasn't the end of it, right?
No.
Let me get so cozy.
I now have another bridesmaid. So we've lost one already, right?
This is a gay wedding, I'm assuming.
They don't say, but let's assume.
I mean, way to go to the mat on the social issues you care about if it's not a gay wedding.
Just like,
but it feels gay.
I now have another bridesmaid who thinks I should have to wait for her to get off of work to drive to the bachelorette party and get to the Airbnb almost a day late to my own bachelorette. She refuses to take the train, which is an easy and cheap option, and says she didn't budget for a rental car. Why should I have to wait for her when she's a big girl and can figure it out on her own? She can't ride with anyone else because they all made arrangements to be at the house at the designated time.
Yeah, because I could very easily, is this the end of it?
That's it. It's like, ugh.
Oh, that's it? That's how you end your paragraph? That's how you end your essay to us?
It's not an essay. They were trying to keep it concise. It's saying...
No, I was all tucked in.
Okay, we lost one bridesmaid.
Well, can I say something?
Yeah.
May I have the floor?
Yeah.
Now that I'm colorectal cancer free.
Yeah.
I could very easily see this bridesmaid writing in to being like, I've made arrangements. I stepped in at the last minute to save her, I bought the dress, I bought all this stuff, and I'm just asking for them to wait so I don't have to go alone, and they won't.
No, this is not a new person. Let's say there were 3 bridesmaids. One got kicked.
Oh.
One of the others, which is why I think our question asker is more likely to kowtow to her. Like, I'm already down one.
Okay, so one girl dropped out. So there are 3 bridesmaids.
No, one girl got kicked out. I don't know how many there are, but let's say
of the remaining ones, one of them is now like, I don't want to do all this stuff alone. Okay.
Wants to get a ride from the bride to the Airbnb almost a full day late.
No.
No.
It sounds like there's a lot of women. It doesn't sound like there's like 3 girls. Otherwise, you're kind of at the mercy of that because then you don't have a party. She'll just have to figure it out. This thing where like I'm an adult and I don't want to do scary things. Like, we're grown women. We can drive places. You're not asking her to go to a scary neighborhood. Trains are generally pretty safe. It just sounds like she probably has anxiety about traveling alone, and she could just meet you for something else. I guess the question is, how important is this person? How integral are they to the partying? It doesn't sound like it's your maid of honor. You guys everybody else budgeted and planned for this. And I'm sympathetic to, like, I didn't budget for it, but there's something about that language that makes me feel like she doesn't want to do it.
She didn't budget for a rental car, get a friggin' Uber. Like, yeah, I think she's being difficult. And I think but here's the thing. How many people are left now at the Airbnb?
That's what I need to know.
It sounds like enough people that you guys will be fine, because they're saying,
And also, if it's your bachelorette party, it's only so many days long. Like, you're not Lauren Sanchez. You're probably not having like a yacht for like 3 weeks. So a bachelorette party is like the weekend. So if you wait till Saturday, that means you miss Friday night and then you're leaving Sunday morning. However, I do wonder, it's kind of weird that this is coming up, because hasn't this been planned? So why is this coming up now? And if she didn't budget, that sounds like she agreed to a plan and then is having some weird stipulation. I think this person is being a little annoying because they kind of don't want to do it and they're making it about them. These plans were made. All these other girls figured it out.
Yeah.
It's like, I thought I'd go with you guys. It's like, yeah, and I don't know why you weren't able to get work off, or just don't go. There's no reason she can't join you later, but we need more details.
Yeah, but we don't like her. We don't need her. Get her out.
If you have at least 2 other women, don't worry about her. But if you only have one other girl just drinking out of a paper cup, just drinking squirt out of a paper cup, maybe you need her to get the party started.
Squirt. Okay, now I have a question for you, Eliza.
By the way, I will say a mark of maturity is, hey, I'll meet you guys there later. Like, as we get older, like, I almost drove myself to the ER just now and I was just like, whatever. But I did make a big deal about it and I did make him drive me. But as we get older, it's like, I'll meet you girls there. Where was I recently? We were going to like some dance party. And I invited everyone over, and the truth was my house was out of the way. And I was like, I'll just meet you ladies there. And they're like, no, we'll come to you. And I was like, I traverse the globe, usually alone, sometimes with one. Like, I can get to Los Feliz. Like, I can walk into a bar by myself.
Yeah. You want to go somewhere nice.
I do so many things alone because I'm a comic.
Yeah, it's easier.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Summer is a time to relax. Summer is a time to take a vacation, to get away from your normal everyday stresses and stressors. A holiday is great, but it's not a long-term solution to stress. A great way to battle stress and to deal with the things that bother you every day, besides taking a vacation, is to have some therapy. And I think having therapy over your summer break helps to enhance the break that you're having, but also helps you to return to your real life as a better version of yourself. I have a therapist. I talk to my therapist once a week. And I know that when I get back from this break, which is not really a break because I'm still working, I'm going to be able to tackle all the challenges and stresses and relationships that bothered me last year, but better. I'm going to be a better, more well-rested version of myself. BetterHelp has an App Store rating of 4.9 out of 5 based on over 1.7 million client reviews, and they're the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Eliza. That's betterhelp.com/Eliza. Money makes the world go round. And one thing I'm always fascinated by is how people spend their money. Because it's not just about the lavish things that people buy. I also like to know how people save. What are the emotions attached to that money? What are your financial plans? And what's your attitude toward money? We all deal with money in different ways. And it's always interesting to know how people that you find interesting spend their money. The new podcast, What We Spend, delves into just that. In each episode, one person documents their lives for 1 week and captures all the ways money factors into it. Because it's easy to just look at influencers and see what they buy, and you see none of the financial repercussions. You see none of the thought that goes into it. What if we could do a deep dive and see just how people spend their money? People from all across the financial spectrum share the ways they make their money, the ways they spend their money, and all the thoughts and emotions that they have along the way. The conversations on what we spend are intimate, fun, sometimes emotional, and always real, which is what I like. Listen to What We Spend, an Odyssey original podcast, available now wherever you get your podcast.
Okay, I have a
Highbrow.
question.
Okay. Don't show me that watermelon. It's too political.
No, it's okay. It's a mini. So I ordered stuff from Misfits Market where I got like old stuff. They included this also for free.
With a sticker?
With a
You don't want this to be the Patreon? The watermelon's very triggering.
This is not good enough for the Patreon. I don't understand. I don't want this.
What's happening? It's a watermelon.
What do I do with it? But look, it has little webs on it and stuff, but they gave it to me for free.
Oh, that's fine. That's just from where it was growing.
So I can eat this. I just
gonna
chop
be
it up
delicious.
and I eat it.
What kind of watermelon is it?
It's a Dulcina Pure Heart mini watermelon, seedless.
You're like, it's a globalized, the Antifada mini watermelon. That's going to be delicious.
Okay, they gave it to me for free, I think.
Cut it open right now. Emily, cut it open. You cut it into like segments. Just cut it open, scoop it out with a spoon. It's going to be so good. And I will tell you something that was a weird cultural misunderstanding, yet cultures coming together. Yeah. Noah was working with, I guess I'll call him a client. And the only reason this is important is for the story, and he's Black. And I made a joke. Somebody brought a watermelon, and I, just given what's been going on since October 7th, I went, no, we can't eat that, too political, which is crazy. Of course, I'm going to eat a watermelon. And he laughed at the too political thing. And I was like, oh, I think you're laughing for like another, like for a different, like deeply rooted American racism version. Mine's totally different.
Do you have to explain to him all the connotations of watermelons across the world? Well,
I will tell you, growing up, Aaron, who I never talk about, was my best friend since I was 3, was Black and continues to be Black. We had like a lacrosse team party, and I wanted to make like a melon basket and carve it and make it beautiful, which of course you could do as a sophomore in high school. Of course, you're going to deliver such artistry to that melon. And I show up at her house and I ring the doorbell. I'm holding this giant watermelon, and her TT, her aunt, opens the door, and I'm just holding it. And I was like, I need you to help me carve this. And she goes, I'll do it, but I don't want to hear nothing about no Black ladies and watermelons. And I was like, I didn't know anything. And I was just like, okay, we don't have to talk about it.
Right. Just are you allowed to have the big knife?
Yeah, she did it for me. It was too nice. Hard.
Yeah. I just feel like watermelon's too much work for what you get out of it.
Cut that open right now. Go get that spoon. No. It's going to be so refreshing because I know it's so hot where you live. That little watermelon is going to be so sweet. And
I'm not cracking it open at 9 p.m.
It's you know what? It's probably the only water you're going to have today.
I'm going to do it tomorrow, and I'll give you an update.
May to September is watermelon season, so we're in peak season. No, just do it now. You wanted to show it to me. Why do you want to
show it?
What do you think a watermelon's supposed to look like? Just like a gargantuan thing with like black seeds lined up?
Yeah, because I didn't order it. I got a box that had other stuff in it, and then a surprise.
I'll tell you what. In COVID, we did those produce boxes, and it was just all like rutabaga. Remember, we had that person that was like, what do I do with all these chives? The angels smiled upon you when they gave you a watermelon, and now you're like, I don't want to eat it. Next time, you're just going to get a whole bunch of kohlrabi, and you're not going to know what to do with it.
Well, you know what? I need to save it because I'm seeing my parents this weekend, so I'll share it with them. I'll share that
into the tiniest watermelon basket. Like a dull
I'll
knife.
go carve it.
Yeah.
I do. Okay. Well, this is good. This was helpful. Thank you. Now it is time for, you don't want to do confessions anymore. Do you want to do another pet song?
No, we can do confession.
Well, I was
going to take a hot bath, but then I didn't.
No, because we just got one like moments ago, and it's a confession from a therapist.
Oh, yeah. Let me hold on. Let me re-pour the cocoa and settle into my cozy blanket.
Because I feel like a therapist really needs to be able to tell us a secret.
I got to dump out that mental load. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Eliza and Emily. I'm a longtime listener, a huge fan. I've been hanging on to this non-tender confession for years and have never said this out loud to anyone. Here goes.
Okay,
guys. Yeah, if you up your game, we'll keep doing confessions. I have been a therapist for 15 years, so theoretically, I should have good coping skills, right? Wrong. A few years ago, I found out my husband and father of my children had been cheating on me. I was not expecting this news and was in total shock. Honestly, I should have cut him loose long before this for other reasons, but lying and cheating, that was the last thing I expected. There was no coming back from it. For about a week after finding out, I continued on with our daily routine and acted as if I knew nothing. Meanwhile, behind his back, I met with 2 different lawyers to talk about my options, printed bank statements, had the finances sorted, etc. I broke into his phone while he was sleeping, grabbed screenshots of the pictures and messages they had been sending to each other. I found the name of the woman he had been cheating with.
Wait, so you were still sleeping with each other? Like he was still in the bed?
Yeah, this is a long game. I searched for pictures of her with her husband, found out her husband's name, where they both work, their emails, etc. With this detailed information in my back pocket, I finally confronted him. I was calm, collected, and calculated.
I misread that. I thought she had already divorced him. And she's like, and then he was sleeping. Okay. I'm sorry.
No, she's waiting.
Got it.
Like a game of cat and mouse, just giving him the bare minimum of information I knew so I could continue catching him in more lies. I would calmly correct the next lie with more information than I knew.
Oof.
He was frantic. He had no idea how much information I actually had and what I was going to do with it. Of course, I had to keep things civil and rational for the kids, but he did indeed move out that same day. Now for the confession. And this is, Eliza, remember, this is one of your listeners saying, finally, something intense and not sweet.
I'm ready. It's giving me indigestion. I'm into it.
During the whole week leading up to the confrontation, my now ex-husband had been brushing his mouth with a shit scrubber. A toothbrush by day, toilet brush by night. And I felt nothing but pure joy, sipping my morning latte with a smile while he brushed shit particles all over his teeth. I'm not even sorry because holy, literal fucking shit, it felt good. Love, Anonymous.
I didn't see that coming. That is beneath you. I thought this was going to be like, and then I presented receipts and I went to a court and I took him for everything that he had.
I will say, anybody whose spouse cheats on them, do exactly what this person did.
Why do I feel, yes, but why do I feel like this is not the first person to be like, and then I did something weird with their toothbrush?
It's not. That's why I think it's very sweet and funny that they're like, I went nuts. I did something with the toothbrush. But it is like, that does cross a line into, you could have made him sick.
Yeah, good luck proving it.
Do you think Noah's doing that to you and that's why you don't feel well?
Maybe he's like, you make me stay up late watching TV and I'm sick of it. I guess all's fair in love and war. You've done well to keep that anonymous. I guess you could lose your license for that. You know what makes me mad about myself?
Yeah.
And maybe some people listening were also thinking this. She did, I don't know if it's all the right things, but you were very smart about the way you went about collecting all this. But there is, for a split second, you're like, wow, like psycho. Like doing all that. Like there is this weird thing built into our society where when a woman and you're not, I'm just speaking out loud. There is something when a woman takes any action, how quickly she looks crazy, even though nobody takes into account what drove her there and what you're doing, because women are not seen as like, I guess we're seen as more sedentary creatures. Like the amount of work it took to do all that, which is more than most women would do. You probably just go to court, battle it out. What you did was right, probably because you were very good at school. You know, you're a therapist and you're a methodical person.
Yeah.
But it does speak to the way that we do judge women who are actually like out to get not even revenge, but justice for yourself.
Yeah.
How, like any woman that does a little too much, it's like, whoa, busybody. And it's like, yeah, I can't just lay here and get fucked.
Yeah. But I love it.
Yeah. I mean, the other version is you could write a movie about it and sell it to Netflix. Starring Ryan Hansen. Do that.
While we're doing confessions, let's do another one just because this person wrote in like, they really like wrote this. So let's give them their due.
Same person?
No, a different person.
She's like, update, he died. That toothbrush was a bad idea.
He got sepsis.
Okay.
But they said, this is my confession, sung with Eliza's rasp. Do you have a rasp?
I think I have a distinct voice, but I don't know. Rasp is like Lindsay Lohan, like vocal fry.
Hi, Eliza and Emily. I'm a 42-year-old gay male with a master's degree because that detail somehow feels relevant. It is.
Of course.
And my husband and I are huge fans of the pod. We even flew to Salt Lake City for the taping of your special and met you after. Eliza, that outfit was giving. Share turn back time. We were gagged.
Mother is giving. It was share turn back time. Thank you. That's the
now
hot
to
tea.
The confession.
Okay.
I met my best friend Matt on our first day of college. We've been close ever since. Over 20 years of solid friendship. He's kind, wears his heart on his sleeve, all the things that make you want to protect someone from the dumpster fire that is dating. After college, Matt met a woman named Tina. They fell in love, got married. She seemed great. Friendly, normal, all good. Until a few years into the marriage when she got emotionally cozy with a gay friend named Charlie. Matt was assured there was nothing to worry about. Cut to a week before Christmas, she leaves him without warning. It was a full-blown holiday meltdown. I spent the next few days at Matt's place trying to help him stay afloat and find a little holiday spirit amid the mess.
That's
then
a movie.
6 months later, I know, bam, Tina is engaged to Charlie. Turns out Charlie wasn't totally gay, more like gay adjacent, bi, cue the collective gay gasp. Naturally, I was livid. While at Matt's one day, I decided to do some very healthy, totally rational investigative work. So I downloaded Grindr. And there he was.
He's there.
Charlie, online, single, looking to hook up with dudes, featuring thirsty profile pics. Being the loyal best friend that I am, I took screenshots, all of them. Then I created a fake phone number.
Wait, why did you
Shout out
download Grindr? Like, were
to
you just like,
find-
I know,
to
but were you
catch
just
Charlie?
You just like, I bet I'll find him. Like, I bet he, but you, at that point, you thought he was straight.
Well, they had been told he was gay.
No,
then
no,
he
but-
married Tina.
Married Tina. And then, and it broke your best friend's heart. when
Yes.
Charlie, right. So you know that, but so it's just like, you know that your best friend's heart was broken because now he's with the best friend's ex-wife. What made you think, were you just like, I bet he's still a little gay? Like what gave off your spidey sense to be like, I'm going to download Grindr and find Charlie?
I bet he met Charlie and was like, yeah, that guy is gay.
You're like, something's
And
not
they
right
were
here. Okay.
All right. Well, I created a fake phone number. Shout out to tech. Just
Yeah.
technology.
Yeah.
Sent those screenshots to Tina, her mom, stepdad, her dad, her siblings, basically everyone but the family dog. Later
Wow.
that night, while enjoying a lovely dinner with Matt, my burner number started blowing up with frantic, profanity-laced texts from Charlie. Guess it didn't go over well.
And he didn't
I
know who that
showed-
was because it was a burner. Oh,
wow. I showed Matt what I did, and for the first time since Tina wrecked his world, he genuinely smiled. It was worth it. Fast forward 8 years, Matt is remarried, has a kid on the way, and my husband loves telling this story to our friends. Matt and I still laugh about it. As for Tina and Charlie, they apparently got married, but I know there were some very uncomfortable holiday dinners for a while. Yes, I did technically out someone. I know that's breaking the cardinal rule, but I did it in the name of justice and healing. So I pray that gay gods forgive this one fabulous act of vengeance. Kick it, David.
David, that is a fabulous act of vengeance. And what I love about it was you were there for your best friend. Like everything was motivated
Ride
by
or die.
being there for your best friend. I love that you have a straight best friend. And I love that
Yeah.
you did all of that. I also actually think because you could classify Charlie as bisexual, which makes sense because he's having sex with men and presumably Tina. The only crime
Presumably
committed
Tina.
by Charlie, unless it was like a lavender marriage, the only crime committed by Charlie is that he lied and said he was single.
Yes, it's just like if you had gotten Tinder pics.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? They sound annoying, and the crime committed by Tina was gaslighting your friend. So fuck them. That's amazing. I am all for these violent protective acts in the name of actually protecting a friend. And I don't think we see enough of that. I think we get a lot of like, my friend's upset. What can I do? And it's just like, here's how to take action and be about it.
Right. Go
Ask
nuts.
about me. That was great.
Yeah. All right. Now we got a low stakes question, Eliza.
By the way, the gay gods will forgive you. Say one Hail Mary's hamburger Hamlet.
Yeah, because I also don't get the feeling because you were Matt's best friend and Matt was married to Tina. I don't get the feeling you're living in a particularly dangerous place where you knew that this would put Charlie in any danger. Do you know what I mean? Like
No,
it's not
about
at
that.
all.
It went to his friends and
malicious.
family, and you know what?
I mean,
Like
it's malicious, but it's not malicious. You know?
No,
Yeah,
that was great.
You're good. Okay, hi gang. Super low stakes question. Eliza mentioned using a red light mask. Can you tell me the brand? I would love to get one, but there's so many on the market and I don't know which brand to trust. There are so many for sale. I'd like to invest in one that works and isn't harmful. Thank you. And someone else said, I would love to know this too. Now, Eliza, this
Okay.
feels like a product where there's probably 1,000 on Amazon. You know, on Amazon, how there's like companies that are just like, your job.
yes. Oh, they're all.
It's me.
Have you know? Like they're all like Chinese companies, and it's like almost. It looks like an AI wrote English. You're like, is
And
that
they're
a word?
using the same product shot. And you're like, which of these is real?
I'm looking it up right now. I have two, I'll be honest, and I'd have to go in the other room and look it up. I don't want to endorse one over the other. A good one
Okay.
runs about $400.
Okay.
Here's why I'm not going to tell you the brand.
Okay.
I don't want to endorse this brand. And I think that there are plenty of brands that make comparable quality ones. And I
Okay.
do think a real red light mask is around $300, $400. There's more expensive ones. There's ones that do different levels of red light and blue light, which is kind of more for acne. So I hate to say do your own research, but I do think this is a case of like comparing, read reviews. Plenty of beauty sites do those.
But
I
not
just
like
own
a
two.
$50 one. Yeah.
Don't do that. That's probably literally just a red Christmas light.
Yeah.
If it's too cheap, you're not going to want to use it. I don't think you should ever skimp when it comes to genuine beauty. Here's a GQ article, 13 best LED face masks. So do your own, find your own price point. You don't need me to tell you which one it is. If they paid me, I would tell you, but I'm not going to do that.
I think that's fair.
For what it's worth, they always show the mask on and the woman doing stuff. I don't know how you could get anything done with that red light in your eyes. And they say it's fine. Someone's like, it's even good for you. I don't buy that. And I think in a few years, we're going to be like, oops, turned out a lot of people went blind. I am all for close your eyes for the 10 minutes it takes to do this.
Yeah.
Do not do it. You don't need to multitask that hard.
No. Okay, then we have another quick one. Hello, all. I don't have social media, so I'm asking here via email. Yes, please email us at askelizapodcast@gmail.com with your questions. We love it. So, Christina asks, I am rewatching War Paint and noticed you swear a lot in this special compared to your newer ones. Was curious if this was something that naturally happened or a deliberate choice. I'm really enjoying rewatching your old specials. I think that's a very interesting question.
I think I've always said this, strategically placed F-bomb is a thing of beauty. I think the older I become, the more well-rounded my ideas, the more eloquent I become, the less I use it. I think when I started, if I had to think about it, because I still say the F word, but I think when I started,
F word.
You almost needed to be a little bit more aggressive, and I had a very aggressive style, and it was like, let me get these people to listen to me. Like I was fighting for every minute I got you to pay attention.
Yeah.
And I think it was still at a time where it's like, whoa, like a girl is cursing. And then we had the wave of like dirty female comics. And like even to this day, it's like, whoa. And now, well, actually not even to this day, because now it's like commonplace for people to be super sexual and explicit on stage. So, but at the time, I think I was just so forceful. And sometimes I say it now and I watch the tape, I'm like, that was aggressive. Because even when I hear it, sometimes you're just like, why did you say that? So I guess it's not so much that I'm mindful, but I don't say it as often in my stand-up anyway. I've just matured.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Okay, one more question before cops. Hi, Eliza. Emily and all babies, fur-filled and hairless. I've been a follower of the podcast and Eliza's comedy since pre-COVID. I mean, it could have been longer, but okay.
Yeah.
I actually met Eliza in Columbus, Ohio, days before the world shut down. I have a picture of us holding hands.
Yeah.
Now, to get to it. I, 28-year-old female, come to you today seeking your advice on how to handle dating and a new relationship now that my brother has come out to us as trans. My brother is 25 years old, we'll call him Gary, and he told my dad and I about wanting to transition back in October. Gary also informed my dad and I that he had already started hormone replacement therapy. He has not changed his name yet and still wants to use he, him pronouns.
Gary is becoming a woman?
And no,
Gary was a woman.
Trans brother, so
became a brother.
My brother has come out as trans. Okay, so wait, so I can't tell if
Just
Gary.
Keep reading. Okay. Keep reading, because at the end of the day, it's like Gary's bridesmaid is a bitch.
Right. My mom had known for a month prior to my dad and I finding out, and she hadn't told a soul after promising Gary she wouldn't. How she kept it together is beyond me. But besides my parents and I, no other family members know about Gary to this day. So this was October. At the time, I was in a serious relationship with my boyfriend, who I ran to after finding this out. I was distraught, confused, and did not see this coming. My family life had been flipped, and what I thought I knew of my childhood no longer was the same after the hours-long conversation with my brother and my parents. I ended my relationship a few months ago, and I've started going on dates again. I've been seeing a guy for a month now, and I can see it becoming serious. I have not told him about Gary or made any comments about trans people. I know I have to tell him eventually, but I'm scared and honestly enjoying the escape of my never-ending anxiety and stress-filled family life. I know my extended family, grandmas, cousins, uncles, and aunts, will find out eventually, either from rumors in our small town or Gary telling them. Either way, my extended family finding out about this is going to be very triggering for me, as this is a very vulnerable topic and situation. So, how do I tell a man that I am starting to date and have feelings for about my brother being trans? I'm scared that my extended family will find out sooner, and I don't want to explain the situation to the guy I'm talking to with all the dramatics happening within my family. On top of this, my mom has already threatened to divorce my dad if he does not get on the bandwagon of supporting Gary. I don't want to play it off as no big deal to him because it's not. It's messy and scary and so many things are unknown. My therapist suggested telling a random guy I go on dates with, but that could lead to a plethora of problems. Please help. Much love, Anonymous. Yeah, who is this other person you're going on dates with?
What's happening? I can't. Okay.
I'm pretty sure, based on this person's concerns, that Gary wants to transition into a woman and we should be in. And even though Gary has said to use he, him pronouns for now, it sounds as though our question asker is not particularly accepting of who Gary wants to be. And that is a very internal problem.
Yeah, because if you accepted it, and this is not a referendum on you blindly accepting it. If you accepted it, then it wouldn't be like such an issue about discussing this with your partner. But with the guy you've been dating for a month. Because as I'm listening to it, I'm like, who fucking cares what this guy thinks? You love your brother and this person needs to get on board with it. But if you're conflicted about it, I mean, regardless of what it is, I think this is a part of you. We don't need to make this about you, but you have a relative who is living a different life than you either approve of or would live or whatever. This is about the person you're dating being okay with you and what you're doing and supporting you. You know, are you afraid that you're going to tell this random dude that your brother is trans and he's going to like think it's your fault or like break up with you? Because that says so much about him.
I think that this is manifesting as a problem with the boyfriend when really it is a problem with our question asker not being willing to accept this because they're saying they have so much anxiety and fear and stress.
I don't know why.
Upset.
I think you're making this about you in a way that it doesn't need to be. And
it doesn't.
But I think it's about you because, to Emily's point, maybe you don't like it. I don't even know what kind of therapist that would be. Like a gender relations therapist.
Right.
I can't
you already
sit
have
here.
a therapist.
Well, I can't sit here and be like, you better get okay with it, transphobe. Like, these are very nuanced things that affect people and families. And you know what? You're right. Because you're like, there goes all my memories of my childhood. It's still the same person.
Yeah.
It's still Gary.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever erase the things you hate about your brother, the things you love about your brother, and those memories. He's still going to be your brother. He's just going to be a woman. So extra annoying.
Right.
I think this is more about you have to sit down with yourself and decide how you feel. And then don't be afraid to ask questions. And it's okay if you arrive at this conclusion slowly or you slowly get to a place where you're okay with it. Not that Gary needs your approval. You're afraid of all of the judgment of everything coming down on you. And you don't even know how you feel about it. The last person you need to be worrying about is a guy that you've been dating a month.
No, yeah, that's like this weird thing, that sticking point for you where you're like, well, and then what if I'm dealing with that? Well, also my whole extended family, this doesn't affect you. I mean, I agree, Eliza. It change. Your relationship will change, and it's okay. I think to mourn having a brother and to take some time to build a relationship with a sister. I think it's not going to be a snap and you go, oh, okay, this doesn't bother me. I don't like change. I understand. Your mom is on board with Gary. Your mom is there for Gary.
Yeah.
Your mom is telling your dad to get in line. We are supporting our beloved child. You need to see where you fall here because
we can't answer this until you know how you feel. And it would be really cool if you told this guy and he was like, hey, trans rights are human rights or whatever. And he didn't care. We can't answer this because you don't know how you feel. If you were like, I'm uncomfortable with my sibling being trans, then we could go from there. Or if you liked it, but we can't answer that for you. I think what?
Yeah, you really need to look internally. And again, I think it's not a blind, like, of course you have to accept it. I mean, yes, we should accept everyone. You are allowed to struggle with coming to terms with this 100%. But all of these things about all the extended family, worrying about how they will talk to you, like you are the lowest. Like,
it's not about, it is a very,
in this.
I hate to say this. It is a very, I hate when Emily brings up like white woman stuff, but it is a very like heterosexual white woman thing to be like, I can make this about me. I don't think you're doing it deliberately.
No.
But like to feel like this is all coming down on you. If they have a problem, they can go talk to Gary.
Yeah.
Or if you are supporting Gary, they can go through you. but you don't need to worry. And that's so shitty if your family like puts this on you, but you don't need to make this about you. And I think you're pushing it off and making it about all this because you don't know how you feel inside.
Yeah. Talk to your mom, because I think talking to Gary, they're too close to it. I think talk to your mom, because your mom's on board. You know, find out how your mom is going to deal with it. What's your mom's plan for the relatives? How's your mom feeling about this? You know,
It's still the same person.
Yeah. He maybe also probably Gary. Somebody named Gary sounds like a real sorry to
That's
the
a
Garys.
rough. You know
sounds
what?
Like
I think it's harder to be a guy named Gary
I
than
know
it is to be trans, because that's a rough name.
Gary just wants to be someone new, and I understand that.
Get rid
for
of that Gary.
Yeah. Well, wanted to do a real tough one and then go right into cops.
It's the talk with a cob. We're doing it right every day. You just take a bite, top of the cob.
I've got a really good top of the cob.
Well, let's save it. We did it flip-flop last time because it flowed, but we're starting with bottom.
You can go first.
Me to go first. Mine is that literally, so we admitted that we taped these 3 hours apart or something.
Mhm.
Literally, after recording the last one, I started getting a giant zit. So I put a thing on it. But I started getting my face started turning red. And I was like, how does this happen so quickly? I was in a Zoom call for work. And as the work Zoom went on, I was like, what is that? Is that on my kid? Is that? And I just saw it turning redder and redder over.
You got to dry it out.
I put a little hydrocolloid patch on it.
Right. You got to dry it out. That's the worst. Or when you get a zit in a place. I had a zit here the other day. I've never had a zit there. And you're like, cool.
I get under the glasses.
Yes, that's where I had, because my glasses go there.
And yeah, the eyebrow, where the glasses are. And that's always annoying. So that's tough for me. What's your bottom?
I guess my bottom of the cob is our shower here doesn't have, the woman who owned this house did a lot of what at the time were probably very expensive upgrades, but a lot of them don't make sense. And it looks like she just went to the finest of Viennese house engineers. We have random hooks. We have really small cubbies. In my medicine cabinet is a weird wood structure. And I don't know what function it serves, what purpose it serves. And in our shower, there are no surfaces.
Yeah.
No shelves. Not nary a ledge for a soap. And all you want, and there's no tub built in. It's just a shower. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Someone's busting down the door.
It's 28 days later, but with a chubby baby. And we had to buy a shower caddy, and it's just not enough for all the things, and just always turning around and being I guess I'll just rest my razor on the ground.
Yeah.
There are worse things in this life, but who builds a shower with no ledge?
Right. Yes. No, that's annoying.
And look at this. You could see around this office. It's just endless built-ins.
They love shelves.
It's just a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes a baby. Anyway.
The baby.
A lot of weird things. All built perfectly by hand, but just no one needs this.
Right. Why? Fan bottom. My bottom of the cob is when I get random emails and text messages about paying a lab work bill I know nothing about.
Oh my
Don't
God, I have
send
a
me an
joke
email
about
with
this.
zero info about what the charges are for.
Yes.
I don't know who you are or what bioproduct of mine you tested.
Yeah.
I just went to urgent care for a stupid UTI that wouldn't go away because I'm not a trusting idiot. I then have to do some research or call them to figure out if the bill is legit. Such a waste of time and a major bottom of the cob. Okay to use my name if you'd like. Katrina from Portland, Oregon. She wants the people of Portland to know. Stop billing her.
Emily, I thought it was yours, and I was like, did she write this down and she's reading it? The whole time I was like, she really prepared.
No,
Katrina,
I did mine.
I know you did. It was compelling. I have a whole joke about that now that I've been doing lately. And it's just, I take a poll and I'm like, is anyone else just getting random bills from Quest Diagnostics for blood work that you don't remember having, but you're like, it's a panel from May of 2023. You're like, sounds like me. And then it's for such a nominal fee. You're like, $23. Yeah, I could pay $23. You turn on the bill. It's you have 24 hours to have your son. But when a medical bill is $35, you're like, I got that cash. 35, have two.
Yeah.
Top.
Fan. Stephanie D. After 2 years of harassment, mean behavior, and getting away with murder, including assault on me, your workplace bully was terminated because of the findings on my claim of a hostile work environment. I feel like this is a win for girls who were bullied in school everywhere.
That is a win. I love that.
It's just a win for like the office. Oh,
for
yes.
you. What's
Yay.
your? I have a great top. So what's
My
yours?
top, okay. My top was, it was raining so hard that it was like hailing and it was hitting the window. And even though part of me was like, is the window going to break? I was like, this is so cool. It's less fun as a homeowner listening to rain hit the house.
How
but
hard it
listening
can
to like
go.
full on hail, I was like, what's going on out there? This is fun.
In the South with that like hot, humid weather, it turns to hail so quickly. And you're like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
No, that's scary. The hail is scary. It like stops being fun when it's hard.
When I'm hearing like, I'm like, is the glass going to break?
My
Right,
top of the
what's
cob.
yours?
Did I say this already about taking a walk with Sierra and seeing our neighbor who was bald?
No. Did Sierra make fun of him?
Our neighbor just knelt down to like talk to her. And he's like, well, hi, Sierra. And she just went, why don't you have any hair? I didn't even say, I'm sorry. I just kept laughing. He was like, well, some people, he was so nice. He's like, some people lose their hair. Like he knows he doesn't have hair. It's not like he had a toupee on. But it was my first example of like a kid say the darndest thing true moment that was like with another person, not like at home and funny.
Right. That's one of the lesser offensive ones, though. That's a pretty good one where you can just enjoy it.
This episode's coming to you on July 9th, which is
an auspicious occasion.
We'll talk about how 4th of July was on the next one.
Okay.